The sea is restless, the deck is slick with ice, and the wind howls as fishermen haul heavy steel pots from the depths of the Bering Sea. Inside, dozens of crabs thrash their spindly legs, their claws snapping at the frigid air. From this moment forward, they are part of a complex operation that will move them across continents through a carefully orchestrated system of logistics, all to reach dinner plates in Tokyo, New York, and Paris. Every year, over 3 million tons of crab are harvested worldwide, a delicacy that commands high prices and requires extreme precision in transport. But keeping them fresh from ocean to table is a race against time, where even the smallest miscalculation can ruin an entire shipment. Crabs are unlike most seafood. Their meat is delicate, prone to rapid spoilage, and in many cases, they must be kept alive until just before they're served. If stored improperly, their meat turns mushy, their shells release ammonia, and what was once a high-value product becomes worthless waste. Some crabs are flash frozen immediately after being caught, locking in their texture and flavor. Others are transported in high-tech seawater tanks, where oxygen levels, temperature, and even stress factors must be controlled down to the smallest detail. A live crab can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars in luxury markets, so losing a shipment isn't just an inconvenience, it's a financial catastrophe. But how are crabs kept in perfect condition across thousands of miles? What kind of cutting-edge technology ensures that live shipments arrive intact? And what happens when things go wrong? The world of crab transport is filled with high stakes, constant challenges, and surprising innovations, all designed to bring these ocean treasures from the sea to your plate. Far from bustling seafood markets and elegant restaurants, the work of harvesting crabs unfolds in some of the harshest environments on Earth. The Bering Sea, one of the world's most famous crabbing regions, is notorious for its brutal conditions. Towering waves, sub-zero temperatures, and unpredictable storms make this one of the deadliest jobs in commercial fishing. Yet the reward is immense. A single haul can bring in thousands of pounds of crab, each one destined for markets willing to pay top dollar for pristine specimens. The process begins with large steel traps, called pots, that are lowered deep into the frigid waters. Each pot is baited with herring or squid, designed to lure crabs inside while preventing them from escaping. After soaking for hours or even days, the pots are retrieved, revealing a mass of tangled legs and shells. Not all crabs make the cut. Undersized or female crabs are tossed back to protect future populations. The rest are quickly sorted and stored, but what happens next depends on where they're headed. For some crabs, the key to preservation is keeping them alive. They are placed in holding tanks filled with chilled, oxygen-rich seawater, where constant monitoring prevents stress and mortality. The conditions must be nearly perfect. Too warm, and the crabs become weak. Too cold, and they risk going into shock. Water quality is also a challenge, as crabs produce ammonia, which can build up quickly in enclosed tanks. Any imbalance in these factors can lead to rapid die-offs, turning an expensive shipment into a total loss. For crabs destined for frozen transport, speed is the most important factor. The moment they are brought on board, they are either submerged in ice slush or sent directly to processing plants, where they are cleaned, cooked, and flash frozen at temperatures as low as 40 degrees C. Freezing at this extreme temperature locks in freshness, prevents ice crystals from forming inside the meat, and ensures that the texture remains intact when thawed. Timing is crucial. If the process takes too long, the crabs begin to break down, resulting in lower quality and reduced market value. Different species require different handling techniques. Snow crabs, widely harvested off the coasts of Canada and Alaska, are often frozen to meet the demands of large-scale processing. King crabs, known for their massive legs and premium price tags, are more likely to be kept alive for specialty markets. Meanwhile, blue crabs from the Atlantic coast are often packed in moist seaweed or damp paper to stay fresh during short-haul shipments. Each method requires precision, but all share the same goal: preserving quality while minimizing waste. Once crabs are sorted, stored, and either kept alive or frozen, the next challenge begins: getting them to markets around the world. Whether packed in refrigerated cargo holds or kept in high-tech seawater tanks, their transport depends on a complex network of shipping routes, temperature-controlled systems, and strict regulations. Moving them across continents is no easy feat, and every stage presents new risks that must be carefully managed. Once crabs are harvested and prepared, the next challenge begins: moving them across vast distances while preserving their freshness, texture, and value. Whether alive or frozen, crabs must be transported under precise conditions, as even the slightest mishandling can lead to spoilage or death. Every shipment represents a delicate balance of logistics, biology, and economics, requiring careful planning at every stage. The process begins at the docks, where live crabs are transferred to specially designed holding tanks. These tanks are not just simple containers filled with seawater. They are complex life support systems that regulate oxygen levels, temperature, and salinity to keep the crabs in optimal condition. The water must be constantly circulated and filtered to prevent waste buildup, as crabs produce ammonia that can quickly become toxic. Stress is another major concern. If crabs are handled roughly, overcrowded, or exposed to sudden changes in environment, they can weaken or even die before reaching their destination. To mitigate this, transporters use dividers within tanks to prevent excessive movement and aggression between crabs, as they are known to fight when confined together. Some species are particularly sensitive and require additional measures, such as adjusting pH levels or adding trace minerals to mimic their natural habitat. For shipments traveling long distances, advanced techniques come into play. One of the most effective methods for extending the survival time of live crabs is controlled atmosphere shipping. This process involves reducing oxygen levels and increasing carbon dioxide in the transport environment, which slows down the crab's metabolism and reduces their oxygen demand. By lowering their activity levels, the risk of stress-related mortality decreases, allowing them to survive much longer in transit. This technology has been widely adopted for high-value shipments, particularly for king crabs, which can fetch thousands of dollars in luxury seafood markets. While air freight is often the fastest way to transport live crabs internationally, it presents its own set of risks. Unlike refrigerated cargo holds on ships, airplanes do not provide a stable aquatic environment, meaning crabs must be packed in insulated boxes with damp seaweed, gel packs, or wet paper to prevent dehydration. However, air pressure changes and temperature fluctuations can still cause stress, making this method less reliable for large-scale transport. As a result, air freight is primarily used for time-sensitive deliveries to high-end restaurants and specialty markets willing to pay a premium for the freshest possible product. For frozen crabs, the logistical requirements are different but no less demanding. Once crabs are processed, cleaned, and frozen, they must be stored at consistently low temperatures to prevent ice crystal formation, which can damage the delicate meat. Standard frozen shipments are kept at around 4 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, but high-end processors use ultra-low temperature freezing, which can go as low as 76 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees C, to better preserve texture and flavor. These frozen crabs are packed into insulated shipping containers known as reefers, which are equipped with refrigeration units that maintain a stable temperature throughout transit. These containers are designed to withstand extreme external conditions, ensuring that the crabs inside remain frozen even during prolonged sea voyages. However, temperature fluctuations can still occur, particularly during loading and unloading at ports. Even a brief exposure to warmer air can cause partial thawing, leading to freezer burn or bacterial growth if refrozen improperly. To prevent this, modern reefer containers are equipped with sensors that provide real-time temperature monitoring, allowing logistics teams to detect and correct any deviations before they affect the cargo. Beyond the technical aspects of transport, regulatory compliance plays a crucial role in the global crab trade. Different countries have stringent health and safety regulations governing the import and export of seafood, requiring meticulous documentation on everything from harvesting methods to processing conditions. Customs inspections can be time-consuming, and delays at border crossings or ports can be disastrous for live shipments. If clearance takes too long, oxygen levels in transport tanks can drop, leading to mass die-offs. To prevent this, exporters often work closely with logistics companies that specialize in perishable goods, ensuring that all necessary paperwork is in order before a shipment even departs. Some companies have also begun using blockchain technology to create transparent, tamper-proof records of a crab's entire supply chain from the moment it is caught to its final destination. This not only helps with regulatory compliance, but also reassures consumers that the seafood they are purchasing is legally sourced and sustainably harvested. Despite the complexity of crab transportation, demand continues to grow, particularly in Asia, where live seafood is considered a delicacy. In China, for example, premium crabs are often displayed in restaurant tanks before being prepared for customers, making freshness a key selling point. This has led to increased investment in innovative transport solutions such as waterless live seafood shipping, In this method, crabs are kept in a humid, oxygenated environment without being fully submerged in water. By significantly reducing the weight and volume of water required for transport, this technique cuts down on shipping costs while still maintaining the crabs in a live state. Although not yet widespread, this method is gaining traction as companies seek more efficient ways to move seafood across borders. One of the biggest challenges facing the industry is sustainability. Overfishing has led to declining crab populations in some regions, prompting stricter quotas and regulations to protect stocks. In response, some fisheries have adopted more selective harvesting techniques, using escape rings in crab pots to allow undersized crabs to exit freely. Others have implemented seasonal closures and breeding ground protections to ensure long-term population health. On the transportation side, efforts are being made to reduce the carbon footprint of seafood logistics. Some shipping companies have begun using alternative fuels and energy-efficient reefer containers to cut emissions, while others are exploring carbon offset programs to balance the environmental impact of long-distance seafood trade. Advancements in technology continue to push the industry forward. Some exporters are experimenting with cryogenic freezing, which uses liquid nitrogen to freeze crabs almost instantaneously, preserving their texture better than traditional methods. Others are incorporating artificial intelligence into supply chain management, using predictive analytics to optimize shipping routes and reduce delays. These innovations not only improve efficiency, but also help ensure that crabs arrive at their destination in the best possible condition, whether they are served fresh in a fine dining restaurant or cooked and enjoyed at home. The scale and complexity of crab transportation reflect just how much effort goes into delivering seafood to consumers around the world. Behind every crab on a plate is a network of fishermen, processors, logistics experts, and regulators working tirelessly to maintain quality at every step. The process is fraught with challenges, from unpredictable weather at sea to bureaucratic hurdles at customs, but each problem has driven new solutions, making the industry more resilient and efficient over time. As demand continues to rise and technology advances, the future of crab transport will likely see even greater innovations, further refining the delicate balance between freshness, cost, and sustainability. Moving millions of tons of crab across the world each year requires constant improvements in technology, efficiency, and sustainability. Every stage from harvest to delivery presents new challenges, pushing the industry to develop better methods for preservation, transport, and environmental responsibility. Keeping live crabs in peak condition for extended periods has led to major advancements in waterless shipping. Instead of transporting them in heavy seawater tanks, some exporters now use high-humidity containers where controlled ventilation and moisture-retaining materials keep the crabs hydrated and alive. This method reduces weight, lowers costs, and prevents ammonia buildup, a common cause of mortality in traditional tanks. With demand for live seafood increasing in places like China and South Korea, innovations like these have helped improve survival rates and ensure crabs arrive in top condition. Frozen crab transport has also undergone significant improvements, particularly in freezing techniques. Traditional methods, which keep crab at standard freezing temperatures, can affect texture over time as ice crystals form within the meat. Cryogenic freezing, which uses liquid nitrogen to reach extreme cold temperatures almost instantly, has emerged as a superior alternative, preserving meat quality far better than conventional freezing. Some processors are also experimenting with supercooled transport, storing crab just above its freezing point to prevent ice formation while keeping it fresh for longer. These technologies have made frozen crab a more attractive option for buyers who previously preferred live shipments, as they help retain flavor and texture at levels much closer to fresh seafood. Technology has also transformed how crabs are monitored during transport. Smart reefer containers equipped with real-time tracking sensors allow logistics teams to monitor temperature, humidity, and oxygen levels throughout transit. Any deviation triggers an immediate alert, allowing adjustments to be made before conditions become critical. Artificial intelligence is now being used to optimize shipping routes, reducing transit times and ensuring more efficient deliveries. By analyzing weather patterns, port congestion, and fuel consumption, these systems help prevent delays and maintain the quality of both live and frozen shipments. Sustainability concerns have pushed the industry to rethink long-standing practices. Overfishing has placed pressure on crab populations, leading to stricter quotas and improved fishing techniques. Escape rings in traps now allow undersized crabs to exit freely, while seasonal closures help protect breeding grounds. Some fisheries have adopted electronic tagging systems tracking crabs from the moment they are caught to their final sale, ensuring compliance with quotas and reducing illegal harvesting. Shipping companies have also begun shifting toward more eco-friendly transport, using alternative fuels, energy-efficient reefer containers, and carbon offset programs to minimize environmental impact. High-end markets have further driven innovation, with biometric monitoring and AI-powered imaging now used to assess the quality of live crabs before they are shipped. These technologies analyze shell integrity, leg symmetry, and movement patterns, ensuring only the best specimens reach premium buyers. Some exporters are even using closed-loop aquaculture systems during transport, maintaining water conditions that closely resemble a crab's natural habitat, further reducing stress and improving survival rates. As consumer demand for fresh and responsibly sourced seafood grows, the industry continues to adapt. From cutting-edge freezing methods to AI-driven logistics, every improvement helps maintain quality while reducing waste and environmental impact. The effort behind every crab that reaches a dinner plate reflects a mix of tradition and innovation, ensuring that seafood can be transported across the world without compromising its value or sustainability. From ocean to table, transporting crab demands precision, innovation, and sustainability. Careful handling, advanced freezing, and real-time monitoring ensure freshness, preserving both quality and the industry's future.